Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Dre. Check me out in my yellow. I'm popping right now. I wanted to speak today about something that is I've had to deal with on two different occasions in my family. So that thing is cancer, and cancer is something like we all definitely are touched by cancer in some way, shape, or form. My biological mother, who I was reunited with at age 15, she died of cancer in 1999. And, you know, it first started in her breast and just spread everywhere. And ultimately, she succumbed to the disease after she met me and my brother again. So she said, I was just holding on so I'd be able to meet you guys again. And, you know, her willpower and everything that kept her alive. For the years that it did for us to be reunited, and I think that was awesome. But cancer also touched the angel in my life, Travis Farnell, who is the woman who adopted me and raised 20 other children through foster care, and she's a freaking angel. But she had 2 bouts of cancer, and she's beat it 2 times now. And the facts are stating, the numbers and statistics are stating that there's about a 39% chance that you have a 39% chance of getting cancer. Out of 100 people, 39 people will get some form of cancer. Now, we know cancer is just when cells are replicating and going haywire, basically, and they replicate and are disease. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I don't play one on TV, but that's what it is. And all of us hold the possibility for cancer to develop in our bodies. It's just in us. Every once in a while, a cell doesn't do its function, and we go off track. But then the body is such a great haven or a tool of homeostasis that it brings those cells back into alignment, or kills those cells that were acting up, and then, you know, it replicates new ones. So there are times when you might have more cancerous cells than others, but what I want to talk about is that 78% of the cancer cases are caused by the environment. So what is the environment? We have toxic environment now, which, you know, plastics and parabens and all of the products that we like to use on our bodies, those things are going in our bodies and they affect our bodies. Food is an environmental stressor. We have things that we can do though, and if all of those things are environmental stresses, how you cope with those things, the mental tools that you use to get through hard time, to get through adversity. Because face it, being a human is not a stress-free thing. It's not a stress-free existence. We all have things that are pulling on us and that give us stress. How is your body going to recover from stress? So you need mental tools. Mental tools, things such as meditation, things such as holding on to and nurturing the proper mindset. Exercise is another thing that people do not do. The amount of body fat that we have, and this is why exercise is such a thing, such a great, I would say, preemptive measure, is because body fat actually holds the toxins from the environment into our bodies and doesn't allow the liver to do what it's supposed to do. So if your liver is not doing what it's supposed to do, or if toxins are trapped in the visceral fat, which is the fat in between the organs that keep them, you know, sort of shock resistant, if you have too much of that fat, then what it's going to do is it's going to store the toxins in our body, and then you have failure in those different areas. The way that we eat can fix that, can help stave that off. And sure, there's a hereditary, there's an amount of risk that you have if it's in your family. But there's also a lot of things that we can do. The things that we do every single day, day in and day out, they weigh heavily on how our body expresses things. Whether your body is alkaline or acidic has a lot to do with the food that you eat. Also, how you breathe. Do you breathe deeply? From time to time. Breathing deeply, which is done during exercise, which is done during meditation, which is done during a lot of physical activities. If you're breathing deeply, your body becomes more alkaline the deeper you breathe. And that gets rid of the state in which cancer cells love to be replicated. They don't like a lot of oxygen, and they definitely hate it when there's not a lot of sugar involved. So sugar is a thing we're addicted as Americans. The average American is going to consume about 147 pounds of sugar. Sugar feeds cancer cells. It just does. So if you're addicted to sugar, that's another reason that you should leave it alone. But foods, exercise, learning how to occupy your time, creating mental tools for you to be able to get over things that are stressors, and then managing your time. So if your time is occupied, you can get rid of being busy. Being busy is a state of turmoil and stress, and it's mentally achieved. So if you're able to occupy your time, like write out your days before you live them, then you have the ability to cut out a whole bunch of stress. And learn to have a growth mindset. The more that you know, the more that you read about health, well-being, the more that you put into the air around you a sense of becoming better, being healthy, the more that you learn, the more you can try. Because there's a lot of things we can try. And if you don't know about it, you can't try it. You can't eat a certain way if you have no idea that certain foods exist. You can't do the most on your part to be healthy, to be disease-free, and to live a life that is awesome. In the comments below, write down any actions that you take day in and day out for you to live the healthiest life that you can live. Whether that means cancer-free, whether that means disease-free, whether that means able and capable until your older years, write down what it is you do day in and day out. You know, that could be anything from exercising to managing your thoughts to being effective, making your days productive, to giving to others, charity, well-being, gratitude. Share in the comments below what it is that you do. And as always, I'd like to say fuck cancer. As always, you're greater than any past circumstance. You're greater than any current conditioning or circumstances you might be going through, and ultimately you're responsible for sharing the greatest version of yourself with this planet. Peace.